So what's this process been like just this week and going from one division team to another?
It's been pretty interesting. For sure. Just you don't know where you're gonna go, and then you have a team that comes and they try to go after you, and it feels good to just know that someone really wants to put their trust and faith in you, and I mean the organization has just shown amazing support of me. Just walking around and everything, seeing the facility. It's a beautiful place, so excited to get here and get to work.
How much interest did you get in free agency, and why did you pick here?
I had a few teams, but they were all, kind of around the same deal. But Chicago, they were very just persistent with my agent. They sent the offer, and they made sure that it was something that they felt was fair for me and me and my agent. We made the decision, man, and it's the place that we want to be. So plus Chicago is a pretty dope city, so it just adds to it, and the reason you want to go there. So
You've been a starter in the league before, but do you know what your role is going to be here? It looks like it's a crowded secondary here.
um, I'm gonna tell you this, man. I'm undrafted, so um, regardless of my role or whatever it's gonna be, like I'm gonna maximize it. So man, I'm coming here to compete. So I'm obviously no one wants to come in and just say yeah I'm coming in to play a backup, but man, I'm coming in to compete, man, and I know what I could do on special teams. I know what I could do in defense. So I feel like that's what makes me a very just valuable asset to a team because I can do whatever you need to me do whatever you need me to do, be versatile. So I'm excited for the challenge, man, and wherever they feel they want me to be and feel that I'm best at, I'm ready to do it.
Jonathan, you had an opportunity to go against DJ Moore last season. What kind of stands out about his game and makes him a difficult cover for anybody in the secondary?
He's just smooth. Like you don't really ever see him truly run his full speed. When he's running routes because it just looks so smooth on film. He was a guy, so he's gonna get targets, but he still found a way to get open and make plays. So, man, he's a very good player, man. I'm excited to go against him in practice and get better every day.
You went to a smaller school,
Mhm.
were drafted. What's been the key to establishing yourself and still being in the NFL at this point?
Persistence because I've been told I wasn't good enough for the first 3 years of my career. Just kept getting cut and up and down on practice squad, but just being persistent, man, having that faith in God that everything was going to work out. So just was had to wait for my opportunity, and as people say, man, when you get that chance, don't look back. And I'm just trying to keep everything, forward from here on out. So.
Do you remember seeing much of Kevin Byard when you were in the AFC South? Like,
Oh
anyway.
yeah, he was in Tennessee when I was in Houston. Yeah, of course. I mean, great player. Always around the ball. Like that's my vivid memory of him was just how many interceptions he would get. I think they were playing maybe the Browns one time, and he was in like cover three, and like I think Baker threw like an out route, and he was a down safety, but he picked it off like over his shoulder and went and scored a touchdown. Like I'm a football junkie, so like I just I watch any interception guys get, and I want to see how'd you do it, what made you get in that position, So man, I'm very excited to learn from him, man. Anybody knows more than knows more than I do. I'm always a sponge, so I'm excited to get in the room with him.
What's your perception just seeing? I know he mentioned when we talked to him earlier in the week, like just like the pieces of the secondary, and they've made investments. Whether it's Jalen this week, Kevin, you. What's it like? The thought of being part of a secondary that has it's that loaded.
Now I'm excited. We got guys coming in, playmakers. So I'm just excited to come in and bring my piece of it. And whatever I can do to add to the team, man. Just I want to give that extra edge. Whether it's being physical or anything they want me to do. You know what I mean? Being versatile, just being a team first guy. So that's kind of what I'm excited for.
Playing in Green Bay last year, how much did you get familiar with the whole Bears-Packers rivalry, and how did they kind of approach the playing against the Bears?
It's real. You coming in like I mean, obviously you know people on the other team beforehand, but once you get in between those lines, um, I almost feel like it's bigger than you. You know what I mean? Just because of all the history and everything. So I mean, I'm excited to be on the other side of it. So, can't wait.
Jonathan, I don't know how much you're on social media, but when you were signed, not only were former Packer become a Bear, but a lot of people are excited about Simone Biles also embracing
Hmm.
Bears culture. What does that mean that this new city is already embracing you guys come?
It feels amazing, especially when the fan support is there. It gives you more of a encouragement to go out there, and throw your body on the line for them. So me and my wife, man, we both super excited. Obviously you seen she's excited about the pizza. That's her favorite food. So she can't wait to get here and be able to experience that and experience the city of Chicago, the culture, just be a part of this amazing organization. So
You get a lot of attention for being married to Simone. Is that an issue for you? I mean, do you just roll with that, or what?
nah, why would it be an issue?
I don't know.
Nah, I don't. I don't care. I'm secure with myself, but um, I'm still a guy. Like me and Simone got together when I was on practice squad, So it's not like people always say, but it's always been an uphill battle for me my whole life. You know what I mean? Versus getting cut or so. I love it, man. I don't care at all, man. That's my wife. Like if anything, it's like a respect thing people give that they always mention my wife first. That's because you always want your wife on this pedestal. So. I love her. I support her, man, and it's no jealousy or like because when we're at home, whatever is going on social media, that's not really the kind of the insight of what's going on inside, man. And we both support each other to the fullest. And when I'm in season or when she's in season, so yeah, it's pretty funny though. We look at it and laugh at a bunch of the stuff. So.
What is something that for two athletes who are married, like high level athletes, what is something that you guys do that might be like that nobody would know, like or expect for like I guess like what's different about like that sort of relationship?
We
Normal people wouldn't
we
know.
compete at iPhone darts at an elite level.
iPhone darts?
You can go. It's called like game pigeon, but you go in there and we like it get crazy. Like
Who wins?
I win the majority of the time, but
She have the same answer?
Oh yes, she would. But man, you say two elite athletes, but man, you just normal people. Like we want to go out and eat dinner and stay at home and sit and chill, play with the dogs. Like it's nothing really that we do that's just so much crazier than the next person versus just how much we train. I guess that's the biggest difference. But um, man, when you get gifts from God, you know what I mean. Like it's not really. I don't know how to explain it, man. We just you just chill, man. It's not much that is like, oh, you're an elite athlete. Like, what do you do different? It's just I brush my teeth the same way everyone else does. Um, when we get home, we barely talk about the sport just because we doing it so much separate. We more so just want to come and debrief, kind of. Let me learn some tea from the day. What happened at the gym today, babe? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it's really like nothing like super super crazy. Like we get competitive in some little things, but we try to just be as chill and as normal as possible. Go on date nights and do everything everyone else would do. So.
You played in the Texans' victory over the Colts that gave the Bears the number one pick 2 years ago. Did you know then, or do you know now, or do people tell you how big a game that is here?
Yeah, but like people were also telling us to try and lose that game, and so the Texans could get the number one pick. But like, who's in their right mind is gonna go out there and like not compete to the best of your ability and put great film on there? Even though neither one of us were technically playing for something, since we both weren't going to the playoffs. Um, we're out there trying to compete every play. Like it never once was it a moment of let them score or don't try to score. So. After the game, we realized the magnitude of how everything happened, but man, we weren't. We were trying to win, man. I'm not. I wanted to end the season on a good note, man. Going to the off season, and that's what we did. Texans, it obviously worked out for the Texans too. So
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you know just how well it worked out for the Bears, but you're like a hero. You would be a hero here.
really,
If you told people you played a part in that game.
yeah, that's pretty interesting. It was a Hail Mary, man. It's Jordan Akins and Davis Mills. That's who y'all need to talk to.
Are you excited to not have a connecting flight home? I know Simone tweeted that she was
Man, just because especially for her, it gets kind of difficult. Walking through the airport, and I would be, in Green Bay, and she's in the airport by herself, and you have people just will be at the gate just waiting on her to sign a bunch of stuff, and she's 4'8", so it's intimidating if 20 people, grown men, come up to you with stuff to sign, and so that's kind of like some of the things I guess she has to deal with that most people won't understand, but. Yeah, man, it's easier. It's super easy. You go boom and come here. So, we're both pretty excited about that. But regardless of the flights, we wanted to be somewhere where we felt like we were wanted. And I just really felt like Chicago really valued what I can do on the field, my versatility, and I'm just excited to come here and be a part of this organization.
Gerald, what were your first reaction to the news that Keenan Allen's going to be joining you?
Excited. He was one of the first guys that I actually intertwined with when I joined the Chargers in 2022. So it's good to join this, make this transition with a familiar face.
What appealed?
Familiar faces, rather. Yeah.
What appealed to you about coming to Chicago?
The culture, rebuilding, obviously having familiar faces, like I mentioned, with Shane and Thomas, et cetera, and obviously having good pieces in place already.
What do you like about Shane and Thomas's scheme and kind of how you can be used in it?
It's exciting. I think I had a lot of production with both of those guys, and both those guys are extremely good coaches in my opinion, and I think it'll only be up from here.
How do you describe what the Bears are getting in both you and Keenan?
I think they're going to get what they bargained for. I think it's going to be a good situation this year. I think we're going to have a lot of production. I think we're going to have a lot of cohesion in our room, and I mean, the sky's the limit for us, especially with Shane calling the plays.
Why is that?
Why is what?
With Shane calling the plays, why specifically do you feel like this offense can take off?
Just history. I've got history with Shane and the Rams and Seahawks. I mean, I've been productive every year in the league, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon. So I have to be optimistic, especially with Shane at the helm of things.
You went through the free agent process, and how much film did you watch of what the Bears did last year with how they utilized Cole Kmet, and then realizing what the two of you can do, knowing how frequently this offense uses two tight ends?
Not much, really, not much. I think around the league, 12 personnel is universal, and depending on the pieces you have, will really coincide with what you do as an offense.
What was Shane like as your tight end coach back when you were a rookie?
When I was a young rookie, he was a pusher, but he was also a great teacher, great mentor, and obviously a coach. And just from my developmental standpoint, he was pivotal in that. And even now, year 8, I mean, I don't see that stopping either.
What is it like to see him ascend the way that he has into his role as a coordinator now?
Well, I saw it coming. I mean, meeting the guy my rookie year, even at the combine, I got a good sense of him. He's like a machine. He's like a computer almost. Just the way he processes information and the way he relays it to us as players. I mean, I couldn't say enough about Shane. Obviously, coming to Chicago he's a big reason for that as well.
You're coming from playing with Justin Herbert. Did
Right.
the quarterback uncertainty here worry you at all?
No, I've had an array of quarterbacks throughout my career, collegiately and professionally, and I don't really think that's gonna stop any success that we may have. I mean, I'd love to play with Justin, but I mean, whoever's at the helm of it, we'll build that cohesion.
Keenan Allen's in that upper tier of receivers. You see him up close. What is it about him? Is there anything that differentiates him from other guys? Or it's kind of a new thing. They got DJ Moore here, but it's something Bears fans haven't really seen. That kind of guy. What is it about him that makes him?
Consistency, I'd say. Just he's a craftsman. He's very consistent. Just how he approaches the practice field every day. He's a laid-back guy, but when the lights come on, you see how he produces, and it's infectious. People, we feed off of that, and Chargers, we fed off of that, and watching him as I was with the Rams from across the way, I mean, they've always fed off Keenan, so I don't see that changing here.
Gerald,
when
you look at this offense as a whole with you, Cole, Keenan, DJ, DeAndre Swift, no matter who the quarterback is, what strikes you from the 3,000-foot view of the potential?
Loaded with talent. Just production has to follow. In this business, as you know, everybody's talented, everybody's paid, so we're just trying to build something here special and, build off what they did last year.
You mentioned Thomas Brown. I think you guys only overlapped that 1 year.
Right.
What struck you about him? What are your impressions of him?
Again, just a great teacher. I mean, we're grown men here in this profession, and to be a grown man coaching another grown man, you have to have something about yourself just to kind of relay that message to a group of grown men. And I think Thomas and Shane did a great job in doing that, and I think he's going to do a great job here as well.
As a play caller specifically, what makes Shane special?
Unpredictability, really. He's really just done great things with the pieces that he's had. Even when we had Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, and those surrounding cast in LA, it was good to see what he did with that. And then in Seattle, you implement DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Russell Wilson, et cetera, and it's just standing back watching how he does things. I mean, I'm excited to see what he does here.
Your yak seems to be the biggest talking point in doing any research on you. How much pride do you take in pushing through that first contact and being able to grab up those yards?
Well, when I lay in my bed at night, and I think that those tackles, those yak yards that you mentioned, I don't want to have any regret. I could have broke that tackle, or I shouldn't have ran out of bounds here, or I should have did this or that. So really, just trying to take it in stride and just get as much as I can while I'm in it, obviously. So it's a lot of yards to be had after contact, and I think more players should implement that into their games.
Jared, where's that mentality come from? Like, where you go sleep
Just
in bed?
growing up, really. Just growing up playing backyard football with my friends and, the throw it up, bust 'em up is what we called it. But it was really just tackle football, but you're on your own team. You didn't have any teammates to throw the ball to. You just had to just make it happen however you made it happen. So that kind of translated to collegiately and even professionally. So I'm very fortunate.
Have you had a chance to talk to Keenan since the trade?
Of course. We were texting a little bit last 2 days, but I know he's got a lot he's dealing with trying to transition to Chicago, and he was in LA for a long, long time, way longer than me. So I'm pretty sure he's going through a lot, making the switch over here. But yeah, we keep in good contact.
Dante, what have you been up to since the last time you were with the Bears? What's it kind of been like?
I've been doing rehab on my neck, getting that right, and I was in California in Orange County, working out. I was staying ready all last season once I got cleared, just in case call came. It never came. So, I was just enjoying the first part of the off season, and now I'm ready to work.
You said it was a neck?
hmm
Was that in one of the preseason games, or when did that happen?
Yeah, I was in Indy.
Okay.
What exactly happened? Or
Basically I had a small fracture in my T1, and so just had to be very careful with that. Obviously, but it wasn't anything too crazy.
You're fully cleared now?
You said you were fully clear at some point last year?
Mhm.
Was that when was that in the season?
Week 7 or 8.
Gotcha.
what was that rehab process like when that happens, and then week 7? What was your days like when you
The
had that?
beginning of it was rough because I couldn't really do anything. Couldn't really move, turn my head too much, and so the first, I would say, 3 weeks was kind of just letting my neck calm down before I can do any soft tissue work or anything like that. But once I was able to move a little bit more, and then we started working on range of motion, strength, all that stuff.
Dante, you're one of the first guys this regime brought in 2022, and you're back again. Why are you such a fit with what Matty Eberflus likes to do?
I think that he just likes how I run routes, understand the game. He likes what I bring to the room. It's gonna be my 7th year now, which is kind of crazy, but I feel like I have seen a lot of football, and that's definitely something that is valued here, I think. And I would say a big part of it is the route running, though.
Shane kind of runs a similar offset of what you ran in San Francisco with Kyle. What do you like about that kind of whole tree of offense?
I love it. It's some freedom. For a route runner like me, you got to be creative. You just kind of have to know when to be at this spot, and there's obviously rules and everything. You got to follow certain things, but for the most part, I feel like they do a good job of letting creative people, be creative.
What do you think you showed as a punt returner back in 2022 when you had the chance to do that here?
That I can still return punts, I guess. I didn't do probably as well as I wanted to on some of them, but I know that there were flashes of what I can do, and I think that a lot of people saw that too. So, yeah.
Do you feel like that's an area where you can find a role on this team this next season?
Punt returning? Yeah, I love returning. That's it's another way to get the ball, another way to change the game, and it's fun.
What do you make of the team adding Keenan Allen to the squad?
Baldhead, it's my guy. We've been close. I know he was close with my cousin, and so I've known him for a while, and obviously love his game. Model a lot of my stuff after him, and so I'm excited to actually play with him now.
A period of time when you were off and kind of waiting for your next opportunity, what was that like, and how did you kind of stay motivated when you're away from the game?
It was tough. For for parts of it, just because it was like, am I good? Because people look at neck injuries, and I mean, it could really turn some people off, and so just trying to deal with the fact of like, okay, that could have been my last play playing football, and really just kind of come to terms with like what the game means to me, and what I would do if I didn't have it, what I would do if I get it back, and there's just a lot of sitting down thinking about how football affects me, what all of this means, and it was tough, but very necessary, I think.
Keenan Allen has a really good resume. We all see that. But do you know him well enough do you know something about him that makes him tick, or what makes him so good that maybe isn't as evident on statistics or even?
I don't know if I can. He's really competitive, very artistic. He can sing. You guys gotta get him to sing.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. I'm not
Okay.
kidding. Sing. I don't know if that's what helps him with football, but yeah.
Dante, as someone who played with Justin in 2022 and then got to watch him, I'm sure, last year when you were rehabbing, what do you make of just the conversation in general surrounding him and the Bears' decision?
That's way above me. Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of speculation. People are saying this or that. I personally have no clue. I don't know what's going on. I just got here, so it's like.
But just in general, like.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I mean, love Justin. He, will show up every day, work as hard as he can, no matter what, and like, just the guy that he is. The relationships that he has with people, like you could tell why he's so successful, and I know that everyone supports him. Like yeah, everyone loves that guy.
You said you did a lot of big picture thinking last year.
Mhm.
What would you do if a team didn't call? Like, what would you do if football was over?
I mean, if it was like over, like I would still have tried. If no one called me last year, this year, like I'd still be working out, trying to play and stuff. But if they like told me I couldn't play, I'm big into like art, photography, and so I would definitely go that route.
What kind of photography?
Anything really. I like urban photography, so I like taking pictures of cities and stuff. You'll probably see me walking around downtown with my camera. Wildlife. Love to go out in nature, take some pictures of some animals or something like that. But yeah, really just the process of like walking around taking pictures it's great.